So we were talking a little bit about awareness in the UK. What do you think that projects such as this project and teaching about Rwanda on the curriculum, things like that in schools, what do you think that can help to achieve? What lessons can be learned?
I think there is quite a lot to learn from what happened in Rwanda, not just the history of Rwanda itself, but as a human being. I think, like, my experience in the UK, people tend to, when people are really upset, they don't talk to each other. They think, I'm not talking to you. And people are easily to shut doors to each other, particularly when you are young people. They tend to shut and don't look and say, for me, you have to look in the mirror and think about yourself. How how you end up in that situation of the argument. So you trace what's have made you to break that kind of relationship with someone. And so when you found all, then you start working on that. I think people are quickly here, they judge quickly without understand one person. Somebody might upset you, but she might have a problems. Rather than be so angry, you might be able to help that person by going back and say, look, I know we've been angry, and we can talk to each other and try to find out how we end up be really in this situation. It's the same with not so much, because in what happened in Rwanda, people nobody born to hate with a hatred builds on from your childhood. The moment somebody says something that hurts you, you hate that person straight away, and then it moves on, and then you realize you've got 100 people you hate, and then you hate one group, and that's how how things can be dangerous. But if you like here at school, people, young people tend to bully each other, and it's probably one child who's got like probably some kind of social behavior issues. And then that kind of problem, social issues, he can pass to other people, to other young people, and then he's in that group. He creates a group of his own gang, and then they start going to many people. So for me, I think it's very important to understand a bullier, a person who bullies other people, to really engage with that person, and rather than hating him, really trying to understand what goes in his mind. Then, if you are able to help that person, people tend to help the victims most of the time, but it's very important to really get the perpetrator's mind and change the perpetrators. If you just leave the bullier to be on his own and never talk about why he's doing this, then you might help the victim, but the issue is still there. The person who bullies is still there, and then there might be 1, 2, 3 people, and then so you need to really engage with the people who are the baddies and the goodies as well. So it's very important to cure both. You can't just cure the victim, you have to cure the perpetrators. And for me, that's what I've learned in the history of Rwanda. And that's what happened in Rwanda. You see people who killed babies, who exterminate one families, and talking about their experience and give them. It's like this keeping memory, also keeping their memory as well. It's very important as keeping the memory of the victims. Yes. So I think it's a big lesson what happened in Rwanda, the reconciliation, how people in Rwanda reconcile, how they you engage the perpetrators, the same as here. You can do the same as the issues are global. So I think the model Rwanda has created, in my view, is one of the best, and you can see it works, and it can. I really genuinely believe it can work everywhere if people listen, if people are willing to change and to contribute to the peace. I genuinely believe it can be shared in Palestine, Israel, and all those places where there is kind of a historical struggle that hasn't been really resolved, or at least been kind of managed. Because I will not say in Rwanda everything's been resolved, but the situations were managed. And you see the progress, you see young people changing every day. The mind, the thinking about their identity, it's changing a lot in a new generation. So I think it's very important to teach to include the Rwandan reconciliation.